I'm Simon Tucker from the Young Foundation in the UK. The Young Foundation cares about social innovation because we are trying to contribute to creating a better society. We have many public institutions that are no longer fit for purpose to meet the challenges of the 21st century, and we need to change that. The Young Foundation itself is also internationalising. We are doing more and more work abroad that's not currently part of SIX or the Global Innovation Academy. So we are sending teams to normally partner with local organisations to do work advising or working with governments, public bodies, sometimes non-profit organisations. So recently we've been advising parts of the American government, parts of the Australian government. We've been working in Malmo. We've got plans to work in Barcelona. All of this is Young Foundation itself rather than SIX or the Academy, because we are doing a project that we might have done in the UK, similar kind of design, but in a different context and with local partners. The field of social innovation at the moment is very, very embryonic. Most people within it have come from an adjacent field. So you have service designers, social entrepreneurs, policymakers, ethnographers, a whole range of different people, all bringing their own techniques and methods and tools that they've got taken from their own professional backgrounds. But what we need to do now is to refine those methods as applied to social innovation, to work out what works and what doesn't work, and which tool or which method, which approach you should use in which circumstances. And unfortunately, we have very little evidence and actually a very low level of understanding about what works and what doesn't work. So this is the role that we hope the Global Innovation Academy can start to play in providing some training, drawing from the leading practitioners in the field to train up social innovation practitioners in various aspects of the work we're all trying to do. It's really important for SIX and for social innovators to engage with policy frameworks, not as a distraction from the very practical work on the ground, which many SIX members are doing fantastically well, but in order to help build the ecosystem that we need to do social innovation. I think all of us are struggling with the lack of this ecosystem, so the lack of appropriate funding sources, the lack of good tools to measure how successful we're being in what we're doing, the lack of support organisations, intermediaries, incubators, experts that can help us, the lack of the very well refined methods for doing everything from community engagement to crowdsourcing to finance for social innovation startups. We are trying not just to deliver individual projects, but build the entire system all at once. The field of social innovation is very much emerging. We have many very young organisations, and I think the practice is way ahead of the theory here. So we're all grasping for the theoretical frameworks to underpin what we do, and also ideas about how to do what we do as effectively as possible. The role that SIX can play is bringing people together to share the way they're approaching common challenges and to talk about shared values, shared approaches, and so on. I hope over the next 5 or 10 years for SIX to remain very relevant. It will expand its global reach. So we are global at the moment, but we're particularly strong in Northern Europe. We need to build our networks in Asia, in Africa, in Latin America, as well as elsewhere. And I think we need to move beyond the very broad conversation to some more in-depth discussions on particular issues of importance to SIX members, such as incubators or public sector reform or the role of mobile technology. I think values are extremely important for social innovators and for the SIX network. We will never have a standard set of values that we all subscribe to, and if we try to achieve that, I think we could lose most of the vitality and diversity in the network. We are not an ideology, and that's incredibly important. Having said that, I think we all need to be conscious of the values that underlie our practical work or even our theoretical work. And it's useful to surface those values, to discuss those values. One aspect of social innovation is I think most of us would agree that we're trying to bring about change in the world by engaging with the people in power, the people that have resources in various ways. We are not an oppositional movement in the way that some political campaigns are. But the danger of engaging with the people in power is, of course, that you get corrupted by power, that you get used by power for their own particular ends. Most of the organisations within SIX are mission-driven organisations. We are not there just to seize the opportunity to make money by delivering a contract for government or for a private body. We may do that to achieve our ends, but we must always bear in mind, what are we actually trying to achieve as an organisation? What are the strategic aims that we are trying to inch towards, and that we will use particular partnerships, particular contracts, particular opportunities to try and edge towards?